Stretching for thousands of square kilometers, the vast Arabian Desert is one of many attractions to the splendid city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. There are other amazing attractions in this region, but then there is even more. The largest honeybee garden in all of the UAE, located 96 miles from the Dubai International Airport. And Team Travel with Dr. Awah is always ready to bring the world to you when there is more.
Welcome to the Hatta Honeybee Garden, 96 miles from Dubai International Airport. Today I'm going to be taking you throughout the production process of honey. Have you had honey before? Today we are going to see what it looks like or what it takes to actually have honey on your table. So just follow me.
The Hatta Honeybee Garden is a wonder. Since its inception, Hatta Honeybee Garden and Discovery Center has been at the forefront of educating thousands of visitors about the region's long history of beekeeping, the role of bees as the world's key contributor to the natural ecosystem, and the importance of preserving these creatures through planting trees, conducting research, and orienting towards sustainable beekeeping. Once we advanced in the premises, we brought into the reception for briefing and subsequent procedures.
I'm right here at the Honeybee Production Center in Hatta, United Arab Emirates. Actually, this is actually one of the major or the only production center where you can have like natural, nice, sweet, tasty honey in this part of the country. So she'll be taking me around. I'll also be taking you guys around and show you what it looks like to visit this beautiful location. Hi. How you doing?
Good.
Wow.
You need to wear this so you are protected once we go out.
Okay, so I need to wear this for my own protection, right? So just...
Before anything else, security costumes ought to be worn to prevent the effects of bee attacks. Preferably, the costumes are brightly colored to attract the bees during the honey harvest. And by brightly colored, I mean blue, yellow, orange, green, and white.
So we need to put the bee suit so we are protected from the bees because the bees can sting us when we don't have any protection. So we have gloves and then the suit.
Once suited up, it's time for everyone in the team to go through the safety precautions video briefing process. With the capacity to breed up to 100,000 queen bees annually, the bee sanctuary covers an area of 16,000 square kilometers and contains over 300 of the 4,000 beehives that are owned by Hatta Honey all over the UAE. The Hatta Honey also has the unique distinction of being the very first center in the world to rear the Saskatchewan's queen bee outside of Canada and North America. It's also worthwhile knowing that Hatta Honeybee Garden and Discovery Center was established in late 2018 under the stewardship of engineer Salem bin Sultan Al Qasimi, a leading voice in the preservation and education of honeybees in the UAE. In fact, the Hatta Honeybee Garden and Discovery Center is the first specialized garden in the Middle East and North Africa that offers tours, workshops, and hands-on projects to help in discovering the amazing world of honeybees. Speaking of world of honeybees, we're ready to visit the Honeybee Sanctuary.
So this is our first station. So this is the 3 different kinds of flowers and trees we are getting our honey from. So we have the first tree, the gap tree. Okay? And this is the sample of our gap tree. This one. So gap tree is the national tree of UAE since it's the only tree that can survive here longer in the desert. And gap flower from the gap tree is actually blossoming from the month of June to July. So that is the only month we collect or extract our gap honey. Gap honey is actually rich in proteins and minerals and so on. And this one, it can also burn more fats and can give us more energy. So if you want to be more physically fit or energized, our Gap honey will be very good for you. Summer flower is usually blossoming from April to May, which is this is always the first honey we extract or collect every year. And summer honey is actually the healthiest honey we have because it's the darkest. And there's a saying, the more the darker the honey, the healthier it is. So it's good for our heart, digestion, and it's rich in different kinds of vitamins. If you have any constipation or diarrhea or sensitive stomach, summer honey will be very good for you. So that is the cedar tree, and cedar flower from the cedar trees usually takes the longest, which is from September to November. So this is always the last and the longest extraction we are doing every year. But our cedar honey is also our best seller, which is from different kinds of flower that we have. So this one is what we call medicinal honey. It's good for our bones, can also cure sore throat, cough, or cold. So later, when we are done with the tour, we will let you guys taste our 3 kinds of honey for free. So we will eat honey later.
Okay.
And then moving on here. So this is the beehives. So the beehives are the home or the houses of the bees. So we have different kinds of beehives here. These are all the older beehives, and then over there, oh sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We have the modern and latest beehive.
Wow.
So this one is all the oldest. This is much more harder to get the honey here. As you can see, we have the cave hive. Have you ever seen a beehive before? Like in the trees? Natural beehive.
Yes.
So that is also the one that you can see inside in the cave hive. Okay? Which is like in the around the corner. So most of the bees are living in a quiet place like this because they don't have a higher chance surviving in a city or in a populated area. That's why. And then we have the mud and palm beehive. Those 2 hives started here in UAE. So those beehive, we are calling it Emirati beehive.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
And then clay hive started from South Africa. And then last one, Algabu beehive started from Saudi and Yemen. So for the older beehive, in here is much more harder to get and collect the honey. But modern beehive is much more easier. Okay?
Okay.
So this is the modern beehive. So modern beehive, we have 3 kinds. So in here is much more easier to get all of the honeys or extract. We have the wooden beehive. Also this one. So wooden beehive started from US to Europe.
Oh, wow.
But since this one we can now find it around the world, we are starting to call it international beehive. So this one we only use for transferring the honey, not for the bees to live here, because this one is made from styrofoam.
Okay.
So it's very hard to maintain. It's very also easy to be broken or to be break. But our company actually customize and make our own beehive, which is what we call Hatta Hive.
Oh, wow.
As you can see, we have much more there. This is what we are using right now. So Hatta Hive is having 3 or 2 different colors. Those colors is one of the bees can recognize. So all of the bees are much more attracted to lighter colors, which is what also we are wearing right now. That's why in the first place, we let you guys wear this color so the bees will be attracted and friendly with us. And also our bees have 5 eyes. So they have 3 little eyes here in the middle, and then 1 large on each side, meaning the bees have higher eye vision than the human does, and also they can recognize our faces. That's why they mostly attack on it, and they are actually attracted to human sweat. Before or while we open a beehive, we need to use what we call smoker. Smoker is just a piece of a carton or wood that we are putting inside. Here, like this. So this one we will make fire. So the smoker, we are using it so it helps the bees relax and also calms them down. So this one is very important. If we don't use these ones, we open the beehive quickly, the bees will be much more aggressive and will swarm us.
Okay.
Yeah, we have some bee right now. So in one beehive, we have 3 kinds of bees. We have a queen, a drone, and a worker bee. So how can we identify them? If we have too much bees here, we only have one queen bee each of the beehive or a box. And then a few of them is a male bee or drone. And then the rest are all female bee, which is all the worker bees.
So we have 3 members in the bee family, right?
Yes.
And you said we have the
Queen
drone,
bee,
the queen,
the drone,
the drone,
and a worker bee.
and the worker.
Yeah.
Okay, so the queen, the drone, and the worker.
You want to try?
Okay.
Just keep pointing at the queen. So now we can hear some of the buzzing noises. So the reason that the bees are very noisy or have buzzing noises because it's coming from their wings, which is they are flapping or moving 190 times per second or 11,000 times per minute. That's why it's making a sound. Okay. So right now we can see all of the worker bees. And they're all working, of course. And this one is all honey. Okay? And this is what we call hexagon wax or honeycomb. So this one is all naturally built by the bees. Okay? So now we will find our queen bee since she's only one.
Where is she?
Yeah, she's the biggest actually. We can identify them by their sizes.
Okay.
The smallest are the female bee.
Okay.
2 times bigger male bee or drone, and then the biggest is our queen bee.
Yeah, okay.
Which has a bigger and longer body. So we usually mark our queen bee depends on her age, but the queen bee here right now is not marked, so just bear with me. We will find our queen bee. Too much honey here. So the queen bee actually live longer than the rest of the bees because she has a different food, which is what we call royal jelly. And then the rest are eating only honey. Queen bee lives 3 to 4 years. The rest 2 to 3 months only.
So the rest live just for 2 to 3 months.
Yes.
And the queen lives for 3 to 4 years.
Then they will change it. Here, you see? This is our queen bee.
That's our
She
queen.
looks different.
Look at her. Look at her majesty. Her Royal Highness.
Yeah, so that is the queen bee. The queen bee is going around. The queen bee's job is only to lay an egg or give birth, which is giving birth or laying an egg for like 1,000 to 2,500 eggs every day.
Wow.
Yes.
1,000 to 2,500 eggs every day.
Yes.
Wow, that's what the queen produces. The queen actually produces, she says, 1,000 to 2,500 eggs every day.
Yes. So imagine that for 3 to 4 years you're just giving birth here every day.
Oh my goodness.
It's very tiring, right?
That would be 1,000 to 2,500 times 365 days for 3 to 4 years of her life. You can imagine how many,
That's
eggs.
why we have much more bee here. Wow. And the queen bee is the only one who can mate or make babies with our male bee. Because our queen bee have what we call a pheromone or a scent that can attract or seduce our male bees. Okay, so the female bee, they are not really can give birth and also make babies with our male bee. Also, male bee, we don't have much here. Male bees actually don't work. Male bee's job or a drone is just to make babies with our queen bee and just eat the honey here. That's it. Nothing else.
That's a perfect life.
Yeah, they have a perfect job. Wow. But they can also protect themselves because they are born without any stinger. So if you get stung by a bee, it will be a female bee always. So all of the female bee have is a stinger.
Oh wow.
So the male bee, they can protect you. The male bee is actually the friendliest yet useless inside our colony. Yeah.
Wow.
They're the one that you can touch without any gloves because they can sting you. But the female bee, they can.
You cannot see her.
Yeah. So the queen bee is also protected. As you can see, some of them are following her around.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of them are following the queen bee around just to protect her.
Yes. Also the colony. So the queen bee job is just to give birth, make more baby bee here, and also to manage and control all of the worker bee. Okay. I will show you a baby or a pupa, which is how they are born. Here. See this brown cover? This is what they call pupa or brood or cocoon. So this cover that you are seeing here, it will be the next generation or the next bees that will be born soon. So they have different days of hatching. 15 days for our queen bee, 24 days for our male bee, and then for the worker bee or female bee, 21 days only. Okay? So they have different days of hatching. So if the queen bee dies, how do they make a new queen bee? This female bee or worker bee will start searching on each one of the baby here that's not yet closed. So they will start selecting which one is the healthier or healthiest baby inside our colony, and then they will feed it royal jelly. So after 3 days, it will become, or 15 days, it will become the next new queen bee inside our colony. So that is how they are doing their own new queen bee. Also, they're the one who can tell, so we are not allowed to do that. But if we do that on our own, it will be very hard to identify. It will be a stronger bee or queen bee or a weak queen bee. So just leave it to them. They can do that on their own. This one is actually the next new queen bee. This one is the pupa of the next new queen bee. See, it's much more bigger.
Oh, I see. So do they wait until the queen dies before they decide to choose a new queen, or?
Yes. Sometimes they already are always reserve a new queen bee because the queen bee can also go outside to make babies with our baby. If that happened, they can start sensing that the queen bee is not here anymore, so the beehive will not work. So they need to reserve or have a backup queen bee always here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because if we don't have a queen bee here,
There's
the
no
bees
production.
will not. Yeah, it will collapse. It's not good for them.
Which means technically all of the female bees have the potential to become the queen bee. It's just about them deciding who is going to be the queen, kind of.
All of the female bee can select different kinds of babies can be the next new queen bee, but all of the babies, can be possible the next new queen bee.
Okay. So how long does it take for the babies to be able to reproduce, other set of babies once they are chosen also?
What do you mean reproduce?
Okay. For instance, right? For instance, let's say the queen bee is dead, and now they decide to choose one of them to become the queen bee. So how long will it take? Will it take like 3 days or 4 days for them to be able? 15 days. So after 15 days, production can continue again.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they can do that. Sometimes if we catch one of the beehives has none queen bee, we will just separate other queen bee, because sometimes we can catch in one beehive 2 queen bee, and it's not good. If they met with each other, they will start fighting and kill each other.
Oh,
so we
I
already
see.
have also a separate backup, like a beehive that's all queen bee inside.
Okay.
Yeah, like cubicle. Yeah.
Wow.
So we have a backup. So if this beehive doesn't have any new queen bee, we will put one that's new queen bee. Then she can just control everything inside here.
Okay.
Yeah. That is the power of our queen bee. Yeah. And also, our male bee, they're not actually allowing here to stay here longer because male bees don't work. If you are a bee and you don't work here and you don't have any purpose, they will start killing you or kicking you out.
Oh, so the male bees are the lazy ones. They don't do anything,
Yes,
so
they're
so they don't
the
need them
lazy
in here.
one. Yeah, but the female bee have different jobs, 6 kinds of roles. So, but each of them only one. Okay, for 2 to 3 months. So
Okay, let me understand that 6 kind of roles. So the
Yes.
female bee has 6 different roles that they do.
Yes.
Do you?
it has different 6 kinds of jobs, but
Yes.
when they are born, they are only assigned with one job for 2 to 3 months. Yeah.
Okay, for
but
2 to
they
3
have
months.
different jobs that they can choose from, or
So-
they can excel.
So once they assign one job for 2 to 3 months, after the 3 months they assign another job.
No,
Is that what
after 2 to 3 months, they will die.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because that is their only lifespan.
Okay.
So they all look the same, right?
Yes.
So we can only tell the job of a bee or a worker bee by what they are doing inside.
Okay.
You see here, the bee here over here, this is what we call nurse bee.
Okay.
You see this one? she's going inside.
Yes.
So the nurse bee is the one who's nursing and also feeding all of the larva or egg inside the cell or the hexagon wax.
Okay.
So they will do that for 3 days and then they will cover it up with this.
Okay, I see.
And then it will hatch differently. And then the bee that you can see here on the side, on the edge, that is what we call architect bee. Architect bee are the one who's making our hexagon wax. This one. You see? It's very soft. That's it.
Wow.
This one is naturally built by the bees.
Wow.
Okay, this one we can also eat, but it's very hard to digest. So we just chew it, then spit it out.
Oh, okay.
This one is consists of pollen and honey together that they're chewing. So it's still safe to eat. And then we have cleaner bee. Cleaner bee are the one who keeps cleaning each of the cell or inside of the beehive. If there's a dead bee, they need to take it out because it's very unhealthy for them if they're all dying inside our colony.
Okay.
And then, going back to our queen bee, we have what we call security bee. Okay, security bee are the one who's following around our queen bee like this. You see, come take a look. You see, they're like forming a circle around our.
Around the queen.
Yeah, she's protected.
Wow, yeah, look at that.
So that is one of the security bee. Security bee are the one who's stinging us the most and protecting our colony and queen bee.
Wow.
So the reason that the bees are stinging us because whenever they feel threatened or attacked or violated, they need to protect their colony or their cell. But unfortunately, they didn't know that they will die after that. So why do you think the bees are dying when they sting someone? You have any idea? They sting from their butt, right? Which is the stinger. So when they sting someone, the stinger that they are poking at us or in other living things is actually getting stuck. So it's part of their abdomen. So once they start pulling it out harder, it will break apart. That's why they are dying immediately.
Wow.
But there's actually, I think there's like a trick also, or a saying that if you let the bee stay for 30 seconds in your skin, when you get stung, you can actually let them pull it out on their own so they can live.
Okay.
But of course, for us, it will be more painful. So it depends. And also, if you're not allergic, if you get stung by a bee, it will be very beneficial for us. It's medicinal actually, the bee venom. It can cure arthritis.
Wow.
Yes, body pains, joint pains, can also maintain our cholesterol, blood sugar, and blood pressure.
Wow.
Have you ever get stung by a bee before?
Once. Yes.
Once?
Yes.
Oh. It's very painful, right?
It is very painful. But it's also very interesting to know that whenever you're stung by a bee, that, I mean, the stung has some medicinal purpose. You said arthritis, cholesterol, and what else again?
Cholesterol, blood sugar,
diabetes. Wow.
Yeah, it's very good.
Wow.
But if you are not allergic only.
If you are not allergic.
Yeah, because some of the people, sometimes you're allergic and it's much more worse for them, the reaction.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Also, if it's too much, it's not also good. It can, your body can be overdose of bee venom. You can have high fever and everything.
High fever and all that.
Yes. Okay, so we have two left. We have the collector bee and receiver bee. So collector bee are the one who's going out and in our beehive to collect the pollen and nectar from each kind of flower every day. This is their area. You see here? This is the door. You see that one? This one we can close, we can open. But this one we need to put it open. Okay? Because that is where the bees can go whenever they want. So the collector bee wants start collecting all of the pollen and nectar. After they collect it, the receiver bee will start receiving all of the collected pollen and nectar through their mouth and their arms. Okay? So the pollen, they are putting it here when they're carrying it. The nectar, they are sipping it up. How they transfer the nectar to one another bee is by mouth to mouth. Okay? After the receiver receive all of the collected pollen and nectar, they will chew it together. The pollen, the nectar, and then they will mix it with their own saliva. After that, what do you think happened next? This is what they will do. You see? What do you think she's doing right now? This one, this bee.
This one, the one going inside?
Yes.
I think it's, okay, no.
So they're chewing it, right?
Oh, okay.
What is the next step?
Not
How do you eat gum?
You chew gum.
You chew the gum. Once the sweet taste is gone, what you will do?
You throw the gum out.
That is also how they're doing it, which is by spitting it out, vomiting it out, or puking it out. So all of the honeys that we are eating is all vomit or puke or spit.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's all coming from their mouths.
From their
So
mouth.
that is how they're doing it there. Right now they are making honey. See?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you can see their butt. Yeah, so that is the 6 kinds of roles of our worker bees. So we have cleaner bee, nurse bee, architect bee, security bee, collector bee, and receiver bee.
Wow.
Okay? And when we extract also the honey, we don't extract all of the honey that they are making, because if we do that, all of the bees will die. So only the extra or excess. This frame here, you see this frame? This one has pupa. Okay, has baby. This one we don't extract or collect. Only the frame that has honey, like this. So one frame, it can hold already like 1.5 kilo. So it's already enough. Maybe like 2 or 3 frames, like the one that we show you in the video. When we transfer the frame, we remove the bees, right? And then put it on another beehive, so it can be extracted. So we can't just, you know, eat it, the honey here straight from the frame, but we just filter our honey. That's it. So it's very natural. It's all pure. We don't sterilize it or anything. We don't mix it with anything. Yeah. So our honey is very good. That's why also our honey is very known in other places. We actually have like a 7 farm around here.
7 farms?
Yeah, in 7 Emirates of UAE. This is not the only farm that we have. Actually, the farm that, the main farm that we have is in Ras Al Khaimah, which is where our owner from. Yeah, so we have in Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, and here. But this is the only farm that you can visit.
Okay.
In other farms, it's not allowed to do show.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
But which is the biggest? Is it this one or the one in Ras Al Khaimah?
The biggest is in Ras Al Khaimah, which is the main farm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
that's the first farm. Before we only started like 10 beehives. Then after that, throughout the year, it will start growing and growing and growing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just like maybe coming 4 years. So this place is still new. So we're still visiting some of the people. Oh, look at
Come on,
here.
come on, look at it. Wow.
The frame needs to be closer to each other. If we don't do that, they will start doing like this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they're making a bridge. So the frame needs to be closer to each other. It's all connected, and our queen bee is moving to one another frame. So I'm not squishing them. This is already the space that they have. Like that. Okay. There you go. So that's the 3 kinds of bees we have. So do you have any more questions?
Wow. This is this is
It's
just
so
amazing.
good, right?
Wow.
Yeah, before you only know the bee is a bee, but
The
right
bee is a
now
bee.
you have much more knowledge about it.
So you have the same thing in all of these boxes around
Yes.
here. So how often do you guys harvest the bee? Like how often do you harvest the honey?
Harvest the honey, it depends on the season.
Okay.
So the first station, I tell you different kinds of season, right? We have April to May, June to July, September to November. That season only. We don't actually like extract like every month. It depends on the weather also, because sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's very hot. Sometimes also we can get more honey, and sometimes we can get less
Less
honey.
honey.
Yeah, so it depends on the season every year. But we can actually get more when it's cedar season, which is from September to November.
Okay.
It's much more honey.
So basically the harvesting process is you just come and remove this, right? Is that it?
Yes.
So we just remove this and then they'll build new one.
Or we open it, like we there's like a filter or a squishing machine that we are using, like the one that the video we show you. Yeah, that is how we are using. And this one, it can be full. This one is for us touring sample only. If we make this full, it's much more very dangerous for the people who is touring here. So we just less it. This one, it can actually be full or fit 7 to 10 frames.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I see.
we have much more there. So as you can see, we have a lot of trees here, and then down there we have much more beehive. Yeah, but I mentioned you before, we have many farms around here in UAE.
Wow.
Hopefully we can go also like international.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys are the major suppliers of the honeybee in the UAE, I guess.
Yes, actually, there's a lot of people here also have like honey company, but it's not really known, like very hidden. But we are actually the first one to have a bee farm that's allowed for people to go in and out and have an experience. Before we close a beehive, we need to put an antibacterial cover.
Okay.
So it can prevent, you know, the bacteria and also some of the insects that's going inside their beehive. You know, the big bee? Like,
Yeah.
I think we have some wasp over here earlier.
Oh, yeah,
So that is the #1 enemy of a bee. It's also part of a bee family, but they don't make honey and they don't die once they sting us. So it's much more worse. Also, they have bigger stinger when they sting you. So it's much more painful. So that one we need to prevent. And this one we need to close it like this. So the bees here over in the open area, they can just go whenever they want, in and out. So the bees will be like this.
Hatta honey has several different kinds of honey, and as it is often said here, the darker the honey, the healthier it is. The honey bottles are arranged in a conical wooden furniture representing the masterpiece cone made by the bees themselves. This, I tell you, is pure genius. The variety honey products have different medicinal and nutritional applications. For instance, honey extracted from the gaff tree, which is the UAE's national tree, helps with burning fats and giving more energy, while honey from the sama tree helps in digestion and enhancing good health for the heart. And finally, to wrap it up, a taste of all the different honey products that are extracted and produced here. Hatta honey gives a treat.
We have our 5 kinds of honey here, which is in Hatta honey. So we have the first one, gaff honey. So gaff honey is actually rich in proteins and minerals, good for people who is athletic or people who want to be more physically fit or active or energized. So this one is also crystallized honey. And then this is one of our best sellers, Samar. So Samar honey is the healthiest honey we have, which is good for your heart, digestion, rich in different kinds of vitamins. So the darker the honey it is, the healthier. Okay? And then we have the third one, which is the cedar honey. So cedar honey is our best seller. We call also this one medicinal honey, which is can cure sore throat, cough, or cold. Also good for your bones, which is rich in iron, calcium, and magnesium. And then we have more crystallized honey. We have what we call wildflower honey, which is mix of different kinds of flowers that they can get anywhere they want. So this one is rich in antioxidants, good also for your immune system. And then we have the last one, mangrove honey. Mangrove honey we can only collect in Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, in Al Kuwait. So this one is very good for curing infection if you have like ulcer, toothache, or constipation. That's it.
Overall, this has been one very rewarding adventure. To literally have a sneak peek into the world of bees and their honey making activities. And this is why Hatta Honey Bee Garden is the most reputed among all other honey production centers in the United Arab Emirates. Here at Hatta Honey Bee Garden, we've learned not only about the production of honey, but also about the life of bees. A very clear-cut biological lecture about the different types of bees, their interactions with the hives, and a simply put uninterrupted civilization of the bees. We're glad that you followed through with us all along in this adventure, and of course, we'll be back at bringing the world to you when there is more from Travel with Dr. Awah.